road to the Final Four, and New Orleans makes a stop in Salt Lake. It's the West region, the Wyoming Cowboys against the Virginia Cavaliers. Game 4 on the schedule today. Already here earlier, UNLV, the top seed, advanced on into a meeting with Kansas State, which survived an overtime battle against Georgia. UCLA, a short time ago, eliminated Central Michigan. Now we are down to Virginia and Wyoming here. So good evening, everybody, and welcome. I am Brent Musburger. We think you're in for a close, tough, rock'em sock'em game here, but the target of everybody in the West is Jerry Tarkanian, the Shark, UNLV. He's standing by with my colleague Billy Packer. Let's go to them now.
Thanks a lot, Brent. Jerry, everybody talks about your ball club talent-wise, but one of the things you've been talking about is the work ethic of this ball club.
This ball club works harder than any ball club I've ever been around, Billy. I think that's why we've been as successful as we've been.
In '77, you took a club to the Final Four. They had a lot of similarities, but how would you compare the two clubs?
The '77 ball club was the best shooting team I've ever been around, but this ball club here has been more consistent and they've accomplished more. I've never had a club accomplish this much.
You know, if things keep rolling, you get an opportunity maybe along the road somewhere to meet this guy right over here. Walt, great ball game on your part from UCLA standpoint.
We played well in the first half. We were awesome. Best I've seen us play. I just hope that we can duplicate the same performance on Saturday.
He said he didn't know what to tell him at halftime, Jerry.
Well, when you got a big lead like that, it takes a lot of the pressure off.
So we'll let to see both of you guys keep moving in the NCAA tournament. Good day today. Brent?
All right, Billy, thank you very much. So coming up, and the survivor of the Virginia-Wyoming team, they will make it tough for UCLA when they play on Saturday. Back with the starting lineups in a moment. The majestic Rocky Mountains, which surround this great city here, and when Brigham Young saw this scene, he knew this would be the place for the Mormon Church. And tonight, this is the place for basketball fans. The Special Events Center of the University of Utah campus, Virginia and Wyoming square off in an NCAA first-round tournament game. Now let's join the public address announcer, Mike Runge, for the introductions of the players.
Here we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Special Events Center for this evening's West Region first-round game between the University of Wyoming Cowboys and the University of Virginia Cavaliers. Now let's meet the starting lineups. For Virginia, at forward, a 6'7" senior from Kingston, Jamaica, number 42, Andrew Kennedy. For Wyoming, at forward, a 6'5" junior from San Antonio, Texas, number 34, Fennis Dembo. For Virginia, at forward, a 6'5" junior from Long Island City, New York, number 21, Mel Kennedy. For Wyoming, at forward, a 6'6" junior from Evergreen, Colorado, number 54, Jonathan Summers. For Virginia, at center, a 6'9" senior from Rochester, New York, number 22, Tom Sheehy. For Wyoming, at center, a 6'11" junior from Manhattan Beach, California, number 43, Eric Lichtner. For Virginia, at guard, a 6' junior from Brooklyn, New York, number 10, John Johnson. For Wyoming, at guard, a 6'1" junior from Trenton, New Jersey, number 10, Sean Dent. For Virginia, at guard, a 6'3" sophomore from Salem, Virginia, number 11, Richard Morgan. For Wyoming, at guard, a 6'3" sophomore from Baldwin, Michigan, number 25, Reggie Fox. And introducing the head coaches for Virginia in his 13th season, Terry Holland. For Wyoming, in his 9th season, Jim Brandenburg.
It'll be the Cowboys of Jim Brandenburg against the Cavaliers of Terry Holland. We'll be back with the opening tap momentarily. Ready to go. It is the Wyoming Cowboys, the 12th seed in the West, against number 5, Virginia. Billy Packer, what kind of a game should we look for here tonight?
Well, I think to watch officiating close in this ball game early. Neither team has a deep bench. Foul problems could really mount up in a hurry. Both teams are extremely physical, not only in the way they're built, but the way they like to make contact. So I think that's important in the first 6-7 minutes.
So the man who will toss the ball up, the referee, Paul Glavin, becomes the key man here tonight. John DeBro and Byron Johnson are the other 2 officials working with him on the floor. The big 6-foot, 11-inch center of Wyoming out there to square off Eric Lechner, reputed to be one of the best in the country. Tonight, everyone gets to take a look. Wyoming controlled. Morgan knocked it out of bounds for the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers, the higher seed in the region, so they wear their home whites tonight. And Wyoming will be in their traveling dark uniforms, and they will go to the basket to your left as you watch. Fox is the point man, 25. Dent, the playmaker, does not like to shoot too much on the outside. And almost immediately, they get it to their main man, and Lechner cleans up the Dembo miss.
Right over the top of Virginia. Virginia starts off kind of Mickey Mouse defense. And here's Wyoming starting out in a 2-3 zone with Lechner right in the middle. Virginia not a team that likes to shoot from the 3-point range. Even against the zone, Brent, they'll look to go inside.
Being very patient against that zone, trying to see if they can find a seam here in the early moments. Nell Kennedy misfires, and it is yanked down by Summers for Wyoming. Fox on the move. Reggie Fox pulls it back out. This is Finis Dembo. He is their leading scorer and rebounder, 34, who gave it up.
They're playing a diamond in 1. Johnson is chasing Dembo. Now, Dembo's got a lot of size on him. He ought to be able to do something in the wing area. Right there he is.
This is his second shot of the game, and Morgan, the number 2 guard, gets in and yanks down the rebound for Holland. Here's Johnson, splendid point guard, dished it off inside, drew the foul. But the penetration is what created the difficulty.
You're exactly right, Brent. He saw that opening against the 2-3 zone and just went right down and penetrated in the middle. You can't afford to let a guard get inside and to dribble that easily.
Billy, we have a halftime score. Providence over UAB. This is a halftime score. Billy Donovan, the fine point guard of Providence, leading the way with 19 points so far.
And that whole region changes around now that Illinois is out of there.
So the Cavaliers, after drawing that foul, reset the offense. Morgan short on the shot. Lechner yanks down another rebound. This is Dent, the man in the middle. He has Fox on his left. He'll take it for the layup.
Johnson tried to go ahead and point to Morgan to take the ball. But if you're on the man that has the ball, you've got to stay with him.
Wyoming opens up a quick 4-point lead here on the ACC Cavaliers. Sheehy comes out high to handle it.
Well, that zone is back inside the foul line. You're talking about a 12-foot area there.
And it is stolen. There is Dent. Great pass to Fox. He missed the jam. Summers, though, with a rebound, and Dembo with the short jump shot at 6 in Cowboys.
Dembo's powerful inside. Terry Holland really upset with his block.
It's the Wild West. For Wyoming, Billy, the break doesn't get any better than this.
No, it really doesn't, and it shouldn't be this easy against a good ball club. Lechner getting another strong rebound, passes out to Dent. Now, here's what I was talking about Johnson. When you're on the man with the ball, don't point to a teammate to go pick him up on the break. He had to stop the penetration out there at half court.
Sean Dent, the 6'1 junior from Trenton, New Jersey. And what a story he was in the WAC final against New Mexico. New Mexico coach Gary Colson fouled him intentionally with a score tie. Not a good free throw shooter. He hit both of them, and that sent Wyoming into the NCAA tournament. Now Johnson will have to shoot it up from the perimeter. Misfires, but inside Andrew Kennedy misses, and the loose ball out of bounds, and Virginia will get to reset the offense.
Nell Kennedy and Dembo, you're talking about 2 strong men inside.
Indiana a winner tonight in Indianapolis, and North Carolina in Charlotte advances. You'll see them both in Saturday, and Virginia breaks through with a Sheehy field goal, 6-2. Wyoming over Virginia, 17-13 to go, first half, Salt Lake.
And now they change the defense back to straight man-to-man. They started out in that diamond and 1 on Dembo.
Fox working at the point. Dimbo bringing it out on the right side.
Look for Lechner here, and that's what they go to. Nice rebound.
That was Andrew Kennedy of Jamaica who yanked it down for the Cavaliers. Nell Kennedy misfiring. Dimbo come out on the move. But he overled Fox out of bounds on the turnover. Cavaliers.
You can see Wyoming doing a good job getting out on the break, though. They're actually, at this point, Brent, beating Virginia down court. Now, you wonder about altitude. Wyoming at about 7,000 feet where they play their home games. This is 4,700 feet, and the teams that I've talked to today say it really affects them.
Now, the first sub we see coming in for Wyoming, Turk Boyd. He fractured his collarbone late in the season against Utah. Did not play in the WAC tournament, and this is the first action he has seen in some time. Jim Brandenburg wanted to take an early look at number 24 here tonight. We watched him practice last night. He did not seem to be showing any ill effects, but he may not be in the best of shape, and they may have to limit his minutes here. Andrew Kennedy muscling for the shot. Drew the foul.
Brett, this is where Lechner's going to have a problem. Andrew Kennedy used to face the basket when Polynice was still at Virginia. Now he plays in the low post. He's extremely quick. He has a lot of pump fakes inside. And anytime they can get him the ball down low with Lechner on him, that's going to be real problems for Lechner. Not so much blocking the shot, but picking up fouls.
Billy, you mentioned the key stat fouls. We watched the first one posted up against Lechner, the big Cowboys center. A very intelligent, well-coached basketball team, Virginia.
Andrew Kennedy, quite a story, too. A guy at junior college. Virginia went to look at another player, happened to see him there, and he's come on to be a real star player for him.
It was 6-0. Now Virginia has pulled to within 2 here against Wyoming.
Picking up that defense. It's Sheehy with Lechner inside. Kennedy trying to pull back into helping. Meaning Summers is open.
The Cavaliers give them only one shot. And the pull-up by Morgan, misfiring off Kennedy's hands. It was a bad shot that came down hard off the glass, and Kennedy could not rebound it, and it ricocheted out of bounds.
Out of the Virginia players, Morgan is about the only free spirit. Everybody else stays within the offense. He has a tendency to pull up and take a shot like that. See, Kennedy's not guarding Summers whenever he gets a chance to help out with Sheehy inside.
Lechner, and he was fouled by Sheehy.
We'll have the coaches working these officials right now on this because they realize that which team can keep their men out of foul trouble is going to be the key one. Now, Sheehy just held his hands up. He's trying to draw those charges on Lechner.
Wyoming in the early going, 3 of 8 from the field, and Virginia only 1 of 6, Billy.
Man-to-man out of bounds. Lechner was looking for that screen.
Here's Dembo. Out of bounds. It was hit last by the Cavaliers. Wyoming will reset the play.
I'm not sure
Sheehy hit his hand.
Well, I don't know about that. I think he got hit in the nose. Yeah, he got something cut. Either he got a bloody nose or bloody mouth.
I bet he did. First round.
First round. TKO not, but first round he got belted. There he is coming right down. That Dembo is strong, too.
Sort of a quick left cross. It's Mr. Sheehy, but I guarantee he'll be back. He's a tough one.
Now, he's been in a few of those himself on both ends of that deal.
There's a few players around the ACC who have felt his body, haven't they, Billy, through the years?
You better believe it. Bat's in the ball game now, and it's going to be his job to lean on Lechner a while. I think they can get the ball into Lechner on their lob.
Young Bill Batts. He'll wear number 34 down there on the inside. Time remaining in the first half. There's Dembo. It was a 2 short. Rebound Andrew Kennedy. They're shorter than Wyoming, but the Cavaliers are doing a job on the glass.
Good block out team, Brent. They use their quickness.
Quick pass to Andrew Kennedy. And Lechner with a great block. Fox comes out for the Cowboys. Now it's Dent down inside on the short jumper is short, and there's Dembo with an offensive board. Trying to keep it in play. It'll go to the corner and out of bounds.
Smart play by Batts. Realizing he wasn't going to be able to rip off the rebound, just kept it alive, knocking it away from the post. Now what happened here is Kennedy realized that Summers was on him. He made the good pump fake, but you see Lechner was behind him out of his view and able to block that ball very easily.
Willie Jones, number 32, checking in for Wyoming. Summers will sit down. Wyoming has missed its last 6 shots against this Cavalier defense.
But I think they've gotten away from their offense a little bit. They have to get the ball to Lechner down low some. Let him put the pressure on Virginia. You see again, Kennedy's not guarding Jones anymore, and he wasn't guarding Summers.
Sloughs off to front Lechner.
Right.
Likes that high lob pass to work against opponents. That's his favorite spot. They go in deep to Jones, who was cutting in behind, and he was fouled by Andrew Kennedy. That's his first.
Jones a high jumper, and you can see why. That's a pretty good play when you've got a big postman and everybody concerned about him. You rub a guy off on that weak side. Very difficult play to stop.
Team fouls, 2 apiece. 14:30 to go first half. Wyoming leading 6-4. And it seems like a long time since they scored. They put the 6 on the board real quickly here tonight.
Both teams playing pretty good defense, hard-nosed.
Figures to be a tough bump and grind 'em war all the way. Cavaliers favored by 4 coming in off the side of the glass. Now Johnson pounds it down for Virginia. Comes in and creates his own opening.
New York City kid that was recruited by Virginia, came in, was a lot of fanfare, had to sit last year, but he's come on strong.
When you need a point guard, folks, travel into LaGuardia.
Newark's not bad either. David Robinson. David Rivers had a good ball game today.
David Robinson speaking.
Yeah, he didn't do bad. That's right. I had him on. He brainwashed me.
Dembo's 3 on the money.
Well, he's now 68 out of 164 from the three-point range, so he's shooting almost 42% there.
Hey, let me correct that. The scoreboard only showing 2. We've got to check that. I thought for sure he was behind the 3-point. We'll do a quick check. The scoreboard out here says 8-6. We get confirmation they did not give him a 3 on that shot. So it's 2. Johnson's 2 responds and ties the score. It is 8-all right now.
It looks like Dembo's starting to come down court a little slow.
And Sheehy will check back in.
Both teams going to the bench a little earlier than we anticipated.
There's Lechner in low, unstoppable. One of the best big men in the country down on the blocks, getting stronger and stronger every year. A junior.
Listed at 265, now came back to school at 285.
That's a split upper lip. We get confirmation from the trainer. Not a bloody nose that Sheehy has been missing. Andrew Kennedy hits on the turnaround. He's a fine shooter from that distance, isn't he?
Yep, he gets it right above his head in a hurry. Now Lechner must have got hit in the eye. He's squinting his eye going down the court.
Oh, it's going to be physical here tonight in Salt Lake with these 2 tough teams.
You notice Brenny's got one eye closed.
You bet he does. His left eye, he's squinting. He's having difficulty.
We ought to let him take a right-handed hook.
Jones has to get it back to Dembo. No doubt about that one being a 3. And again, Batts with inside rebounding position. Pulls it away for Coach Howard.
Batts, a redshirt freshman.
Out of bounds, bad pass. Too high. 2 turnovers, and Lechner going over to receive treatment on that eye that Billy Packer picked up had been injured.
Contact problem, maybe. He got it stuck up in the top of his lids.
We've got a timeout on the floor with 12:08 to go. It is Wyoming 10, Virginia 10, and we'll be right back. Eric Lechner received that treatment, and he has stayed on the floor for Wyoming. We're tied at 10. We have 11:59 to go.
Straight man-to-man. There's Lechner stepping outside.
He's left open. Misfiring. Knocked out of bounds. Wyoming's ball.
Lechner not afraid to put that shot up. Sheehy thought he had an advantage when he stepped outside, but he can make that shot 15, 16 feet.
There's Jim Brandenburg, 9 years at Wyoming. 171 wins, 96 defeats.
Foul on the block. You know, Jim over there, that's his Wimp Sanderson impression. You know, the 2 of those guys, they had a beat. They'll cry on that bench all night long. He dresses a little bit neater, though, than Wimp.
Yeah, I was about to say. Much.
Very well attired there.
Wimp came away with a big win, and with Illinois out of the way, Alabama may be able to roll in that part of the bracket down in the southeast. Kennedy Kennedy ships it inside to Sheehy, who hits the layup at the glass. Split lip and all. Sheehy will battle you right to the bitter end. Made a great near steal. Ball went out of bounds on the far side.
Good hustle. It's great to have those seniors when you get in the NCAA tournament. Just their experience factor is so good. Lechner, that last time, you noticed, didn't try to block that shot on Sheehy, even though he was in pretty decent position.
Sheehy gives away a good 2 inches to Lechner, using his body to attempt to muscle him away from the glass. Dembo winds up with it.
Oh, what a shot.
Mel Kennedy hammered him to the floor, and the ball went in anyway.
Dennis Dembo is so strong. You know, you can tell he's worked on the weights. When you look at this fellow, you look at some kind of an NFL first-round draft choice. And he's going up against Mel Kennedy, who's also an extremely powerful young man. Puts it in anyway.
Billy, the last 2 times we have noticed Virginia not pulling away rebounds cleanly like they did in the early going of this game. Tied at 12, 11-11. They have handled just about everything underneath that glass, but the last couple of times they've bobbled the handle down here.
When you look at Dembo's stats, he does everything well. Good free throw shooter, rebounder, assist man. He's up in the stats. If he stays another year, which he says he is at Wyoming, he'll probably be leader in every category. Good block.
Kennedy was well defended that time on the turnaround.
Surprise Kennedy, because Jones can get off the air, up in the air very quickly.
Derek Sims, number 20, on the floor for the first time for Virginia. He was defending Boyd.
They've moved Mel Kennedy over and finished Dembo. Now that's a better matchup for Virginia.
Jones on the bounce pass, and Dembo has to get it out of there. Now they shift to Lechner.
Can't stop him in there. Lechner has good hands on the inside, and he has Sheehy on his back from 3 feet. Here's the pass on the inside, and there's Sheehy. There's nothing he can do in there. And you can see how strong Lechner is, because he took Sheehy right up with him, even though he had the arm.
So an opportunity to complete the 3-point play.
Is that 2 fouls on Sheehy early? They've got to bring Batts in there.
And Sheehy indeed sits down with that second personal. Batts returning.
Lechner only has 1 on him. This young man has been twice MVP of the WAC tourney, so he plays well in the big games.
Lechner, a big problem for Coach Holland and the Cavaliers here in the early going. He's 6'11" and unstoppable down on the blocks. Wyoming up by 4 as a result. 10-10 to go first half. Johnson on the penetration, pulls the trigger.
Man to man, he's eaten Den up twice.
And a total of 6 points.
All 5 starters for Virginia in double figures on the course of the year. It's nice to have that kind of balance. They're just going to have to ignore Jones till he hits a jump shot or 2, because they need help on Lechner inside.
Den doesn't want it, and Jones misfired everything. He shot an air ball on the right baseline. Johnson again finds a seam. Short with the jump shot, and Denbo comes out. Den on the breakaway. Overled him with the pass. Gets it back, and Boyd can't handle it.
Referee kind of in the way.
So along with Billy Packer, I'm Brent Rusberger here. This is the West Region 4th game here this afternoon at the Special Events Center, the campus of the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. Wyoming leading Virginia 16-14.
Sub back in the ball game. Reggie Fox, good shooter, and if you're Jim Vandenberg on the sidelines, you got to say, hey, Virginia's given up so much to handle Lechner. Somebody's got to make a jump shot. Maybe Fox is the man. Won 2 games for him in the WAC tourney.
Mel Kennedy pushes in the jump shot left open, and he gets on the scoreboard. His first points of the night, and he tied it at the 9-13 mark.
That's a good double screen that Kennedy came off. No chance for Dembo to get with him.
Boy, Lechner wants it on this side, doesn't he, Billy? His favorite spot is right down in there, and the Cavaliers know it, trying to double up on him. Here he is, turning around at the baseline with a high arching shot.
Nice touch, but Virginia probably will give him that shot all night long, keep him out of that low post area. You see Wyoming playing man-to-man. They started off in the zone.
Andrew Kennedy back to Mel Kennedy. It's a 2, and it's short. An offensive rebound, swatted away and scored. Goaltending on Lechner. Ball was put up by Bill Batson. Lechner swatted away on its downward plane. And we're deadlocked at 18 with Jonathan Summers, a starter for the Cowboys, returning after a rest. So he'll be up front with Lechner and Dembo.
Lechner's got 43 blocks on the year. Now watch, they're not even going to guard Dent.
Foul in away from the ball, trying to get it to Dembo, and Mel Kennedy working on him, picks up his second personal. Billy, you said that both these teams rely on their starting lineup. Look at this.
There's a good example. As I said, all Virginia starters are in double figures, and they're taking care of 87% of scoring. Wyoming is saying, now here's 2 clubs that go deep in the bench. You can see the differential there. A club like Georgetown or Iowa that play 10 men.
There was another collision down away from the ball. Dent was trying to get inside. He collided with Mel Kennedy, who's on the floor.
Dent's laughing.
His third.
Don't be surprised if he didn't try to pull Dent down on that play.
And Terry is very upset about that. He'll have to take Kennedy out with his third personal. And Holland is still furious, saying that his man was pulled down on the penetration that time. Mark Cook comes in, and Kennedy sits down.
All right, let's see this play. Kennedy is really hot. We see Kennedy. It's going to be a man coming through. Boy, Kennedy ran right over him. No question there. That's a foul on Kennedy.
Good call by the officials.
Sure, that was a screen within view. He gave him 1 clean step.
Fox ships to Lechner. Unstoppable.
Excellent pass.
Hey, there are a lot of scouts getting an eyeful of this big fella. I had no idea he was that strong inside, Billy.
He's got those big legs. They're like tree trunks, telephone poles. You're not going to move him out of the way. And he's showing good stamina in this half.
Now they need Andrew Kennedy to find his spot on the inside. Cook, who just came off the bench a little bit high, taken down by Summers. Fox shifts over to the side. On the run, beautiful play. Dembo finishes.
Great cross-court pass. Took Virginia's defense right out of the play.
Cavaliers down 4 points.
Virginia can't get that ball inside against the zone.
Johnson maneuvering, looking for a seam. High arching shot won't come, and Summers again outlet. Same break opportunity. There it comes. It's Dent coming through.
And how many times tonight? That's going to be 4 or 5. Wyoming has thrown the cross-court pass on the break to get a layup.
Sounds like the whole state of Wyoming showed up for this one. Random Cowboys. Billy, Wyoming ran 2 beautiful breaks in a row.
They really have, and this is a classic one coming up. Now, Cook had just come into the game, takes a shot where he's not ready. Good rebounding by Summers, gets the ball out. Now, watch the cross-court pass that really turns the head of the Virginia players. Right back, Jones for the stuff. The play right after that was a classic fast break also.
When Tom Sheehy returns from the Cavalier bench. Dembo, who finished that one up along with Lechner. They have 20 of Wyoming's 24 points. The Cowboys have hit their last 4 field goals, and they've forged the 24-18 lead here. 6:44 to go in the first half. How about Austin Peay beating Illinois today? Jim Nance will have some highlights from that one for you coming up at halftime. And we'll update the Providence scoring for you with Morgan banging in a 2-pointer.
That time, Wyoming looked like they were matching up a little bit more in that 2-3 zone. Virginia extends their man-to-man defense out a little further.
Providence ahead of Alabama Birmingham in Birmingham. And Holland maintaining the ball was out of bounds. Gets very animated over there on the Cavalier bench. Dent goes in all the way and rolls it in.
Brent, no excuse for that defensively. You know Dent's not going to take the jumper. You sure can't let him penetrate down the middle.
Sheehy and Cook play catch, and now they involve the 2 guards on the left side.
Air ball, huh? That was a bomb. You know, Brent, in the 3 games that Wyoming won in the WAC tournament, they held opponents to 36%, and in the first half, they held opponents to 26%. So they can put some defense on you, and that's what they're doing in Virginia.
Morgan goes deep to Johnson.
Nice little head fake by Johnson as if he was going all the way.
Cavaliers need a good basket here to calm things down. Loose on the floor. Cowboys dive for it. Saved by the Cavaliers. Johnson on a spinner comes up with the field goal.
That's quite a shot because Lechner was coming right out there in his face.
Johnson, the point man, has scored 8 points now for the Cavaliers here in the first half. So he has helped pick up the scoring load. Mel Kennedy with 3 personals had to sit down.
Denbo working down in low, and he's actually taking Kennedy and getting him in the wave.
3 off the mark. Sheehy pulls down a rebound. Cavaliers can ease to within 2.
Sheehy doesn't mind taking that outside jumper if he can get Lechner to come.
Inside is Andrew Kennedy. Good body control underneath. Got himself in a shooting position on the left-hand side and pulled the Cavs to within 2. Andrew with 6 points.
And the other thing I'm most amazed at, Lechner's ability to run up and down the court. This is a pretty fast-paced game, even though it's not high scoring.
3 from Dembo. Lechner can't get it, and Sheehy is there, but the foul underneath, and it was on Summers. So we've got more coming your way tomorrow night. We'll have the Battle of Oklahoma, 11:30 Eastern Time. It will be Oklahoma against Tulsa. Then our triple header starts at noon Saturday. You will see Indiana against Auburn as we will open up our triple header coverage out of the Midwest region in Indianapolis. So again, Tim Martin checks into the game for the first time tonight as Coach Holland again has to try someone else to see if he can slow down Lechner inside here.
Good move there. He's got a body to lean on Lechner while maybe pick up a foul. Lechner only has 1. She has 2. He has to be careful.
Ball loose on the turnover. It'll be the Cowboys. We've got 4 minutes to go here in the first half. That's 3 Cavalier turnovers. Boyd, he goes to Summers. That's a 2. Misfired on everything. Into Martin's hands. And after the air ball, the Cavaliers can come down. They can tie it. Johnson whips the pass to Andrew Kennedy. And we're deadlocked at 26.
Takes real concentration to catch the ball through traffic and not walk on that play.
Billy, that's the 7th deadlock we've had here this afternoon.
Well, Johnson, in addition to scoring, Brent's got a number of nice assists. Martin's really leaning on Lechner inside.
Cowboys are without Dembo right now, who's taking a break. That changes the look on their offense.
See, Dent's not going to shoot. They're playing off him, so he's got to go ahead and pick up a little slack and get a little closer so they can make the pass.
Lechner moved over to the right-hand side that time. A little bit too much spin. Martin down with his 2nd defensive rebound. Sheehy off to Johnson. Virginia can go to the lead. Inside to Martin. He drew the foul. He'll go to the free throw line.
What happened? Lechner was still down on the ground at the other end of the court, so Martin hustled down, was wide open on the inside. Nobody there to handle him.
Taking a look at some of the finals. North Carolina rolling. David Robinson scores 50, but Michigan prevails, and Michigan will play North Carolina next. You'll see that game Saturday here on CBS. And how did Notre Dame look today, Billy?
David Rivers controls that ball in the back, and you know that Michigan-Navy game, I watched that one this afternoon. That was an excellent ball game, particularly with Navy pulling off to that big lead. Michigan showing some good composure to stay in there.
TCU with a 6-point win over Marshall. The Irish are next for TCU. So the sophomore hits that free throw to put Virginia into the lead, 27-26 at the 2:53 mark.
Denbo back in the ball game. Lechner had to go out. Good move by Coach Vandenberg. Got to give that kid a rest. He's really been pushing hard.
Dave Lodgins checks in for Wyoming. He's number 50. Boyd open on the left side.
Really helps Wyoming to get Boyd back. Well, a set of shoulders like he has, you wonder how anybody could ever dislocate him, huh? Supposed to be the best athlete on the Wyoming team.
It was a small hairline fracture. Andrew Kennedy coming up for the Cavaliers is short and runs down. Lodgins couldn't control it on the drive. It is rejected, but a foul. Dembo. That is his first personal foul.
You can see how quick Kennedy is getting to the ball, even on that missed shot. Tough to handle a guy of that size inside.
Lechner returning for the last 2 minutes of the first half. And coming up at halftime, we'll have Jim Nantz and James Brown back in the New York studio for scores and highlights and a tribute to the great late Woody Hayes, the football coach at Ohio State who passed away today. And I know Billy and I and all the rest of us working out here want to send along our condolences to Woody's family back in Columbus, Ohio. He was a great, great sports personality.
You know, one of his closest friends in coaching is Bob Knight.
Tied again at 28, 2:14 mark. Dent loses it, ball on the floor. Martin up with it, bad pass. Boyd gets it back.
Terry Holland wanted Martin just to hold that ball, wait for a guard to come back and pick it up. You don't expect him to make a play.
Boyd brings it back out. Dembo's all over the floor, isn't he, Billy? He moves from side to side. And Boyd again, he hit his last shot, misfiring that time. Sheehy off for the Cavaliers, and here's Johnson. It's one-on-one. Johnson spins and Dent's right there. Martin on the follow, misfire.
You've got to remember who you're passing the ball to. Martin is actually hustling too much. You don't want him to be the recipient of the pass on a 3-on-1 break.
Cowboys turn. Jones bangs into Sheehy. Offensive foul. That's the second on Jones.
Now Sheehy came to Virginia as a high school All-American, sought after by a lot of people, and he's one of those kids that gives his body game in, game out.
I'll tell you, if he didn't play linebacker up in high school in Rochester, New York, the football coach was missing a bet. He is some solid physical performer.
I think it's a good move by Terry Holland to get him out of there. He's got 2 fouls on him. He doesn't want to pick up 3 on Sheehy and 3 on Mel Kennedy.
He has the game tied at 28, moving down inside of a minute 10. Morgan loses it. Cook goes for it. Dembo has it for the Cowboys, wraps it up.
Dembo is a horse.
And Sheehy with that split upper lip will go back inside the locker room for some treatment. Lob pass over Lechner. Dembo was there. This one's good enough to keep you up tonight, isn't it, folks?
It's another illegal screen, that time by Dent on the inside. And Brent, it's really a handicap when that point guard can't shoot. For the simple reason that Virginia just lays back in there. He goes in to set screens, and they're illegal screens. And it really clogs things up for Lechner.
You think David Letterman's watching us instead of his show tonight, Pat?
I don't know. I heard you're going to be on it.
He's a big basketball fan.
Well, you better talk to him about Indiana basketball.
But he's not watching his own show tonight.
He went to
Can
Ball
you believe
State.
that?
It's taped early.
Is it?
Yeah, I want to fake you out. It's not live.
Johnson comes to the free throw line for the Cavaliers. He has 8 points along with 4 assists here tonight. Solid game in the first half.
Well, he split time last year with Callaway. Callaway out this year with a knee injury. Not to come back this season, unfortunately for him. He has no more eligibility left because he was a transfer from ODU.
The junior from Brooklyn puts the Cavaliers into a 30-28 lead.
See if they'll go for one last shot. I think it would be a smart thing to do. You don't want Virginia to be able to hold it for the last shot. Hold it, take a rest, and let Lechner work down low.
Martin leaning on Lechner, and Lechner has not been that effective since Martin came in and started to lean on him over here.
Well, I think what's hurting him is the fact that Dent's not being guarded, so there's always 2 men on, a guy front and a guy behind. He can't get the lob pass. See, Martin's playing behind him, shielding a little bit to the side.
Bringing it down for the last shot to see if they can go in, either up one or tied. Lechner off a body. Certainly drew the foul. He'll come on up to the free throw line. I'll tell you, Martin made his presence felt that time, didn't he?
Yeah, it's pretty good to throw a body at him, but Brent, as I said before, when he's going to step out to take the turnaround jumper on the fadeaway shot, that's when you want to let him have that and go get the rebound. You don't want to foul him on that shot. It's kind of like when Wilt Chamberlain used to play. Remember when he turned for that turnaround jumper? That was the thing that gave a sigh of relief to the opposing coach. You want Lechner to do likewise.
The Big Dipper. Oh, he wanted that free throw.
A little sign of being tired. That's 6 seconds on the clock, so Want to get that ball out quickly here.
Dent came down to Harrison. Martin fires one.
Oh, that might have gone in.
Almost went in the basket. Almost at the buzzer. Brandenburg says that's basket interference. Let's see if it is interference. Take a look at that and see if his hand was up on top of the cylinder.
I think if they hadn't touched it, this ball goes in, Brent. No question, huh?
Ball. All right. The end of the first half. Virginia up a point, and our coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championships continues after this message and a word from your local stations. Welcome back to Salt Lake. Along with Billy Packer, I'm Brent Musburger. Virginia leading Wyoming by a point, 30-29 at the half. Billy, one of the refs just came over and said he missed that three-point shot. They should have given Dembo the three. Should we go back and get the tape?
Look, when you come west of the Mississippi from now on, you leave the monitors alone, Brent.
I want no officiating. How about the stats from the first half?
I'm surprised you got out of the lobby with all those UNLV fans around here.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers for the first half.
Hey, the game can't get any closer statistically either. And there's Virginia with 44% field goal percentage. And I told you that Wyoming held clubs down in the 30 range. Free throws about even. I'm surprised that the game has been very well called so far. Lechner in 12, Johnson 10, both leading their way.
Now, we had one injury sustained in the first half. Dembo accidentally struck Tom Sheehy of Virginia across the face with a left hand. It cut the inside of Sheehy's mouth. He received 3 stitches, and now he is ready to go. Isn't that face familiar? Reminds you a little bit of Jim Craig. Remember him? He was the goaltender on the Miracle hockey team for the United States when they beat the Russians back in 1980. Tom Sheehy back on the floor. Morgan misfiring. Dembo wraps up the rebound. Wyoming coming down, trailing by a point as we start the second half. Billy, what can we look for? Any adjustments here?
Well, I think the key for Wyoming is to get the ball down to Lechner. You know, Martin did a good job at him at the end of the first half. He didn't touch the ball for a long time. It's key to get it back down inside and figure out a way for Dent to pick up some slack because they're not guarding him at all. They're back to the junk defense, playing diamond and one on Fennis Dembo. They showed this in the beginning of the first half.
Boyd starts the second half for Wyoming, 24. Dembo moves the home run. There is a three that was counted.
That's a three. You know, that official was nice about that, too. He said he was looking for help because he wasn't sure. If you're not sure, it's a 2.
Mel Kennedy playing with 3 fouls, number 21 for Virginia.
Not backcourt. The ball was tipped by Dent. They're back in their 2-3 zone now.
Mel Kennedy fires in a 2 from the wing. Deadlocked at 32.
Terry Holland says his team takes the worst shot in basketball, and that's a shot where 1 foot is almost on the 3-point line, which means, you know, the percentage is really against you.
Billy, I didn't think we'd have one better than Kansas State and Georgia, but this one appears to be. We're tied for the 9th time here in this one out west.
Morgan playing man on man.
There's Lechner from the blocks, unstoppable. That's 14 points for Eric Lechner, Wyoming 6', 11" center.
That's the answer for Wyoming. Get him the ball early. He can pick up some more fouls. Sheehy already has 2 on him.
Andrew Kennedy on the turnaround and a chance for the 3-pointer. He'll come to the line and shoot.
That's great concentration because Summers was right in his face, stuck his chest right up there, and that's his 3rd. Watch how quickly Kennedy squares around the basket and gets that ball back up in shooting position. That's why it's tough to block.
So Andrew Kennedy out of Kingston, Jamaica, 6'7" senior. He leads this Cavalier team with 16 points and 7 rebounds a game. Transferred to this school out of Amarillo Junior College. There is Ann Holland, Coach Terry Holland's wife, with the camera there shooting pictures. She didn't plan on doing this, but her husband said, listen, the last time you did, we went to the Final Four. We're going back and get the camera, and you're going to shoot at the baseline all game long. She doesn't get to sit up there and look pretty like the rest of the coach's wife. She's got to work out here.
He turned that bus around and said, go get the blue jeans. Good screen.
Dent comes down that baseline and is contact and a foul. Andrew Kennedy.
That was a good screen for Dent to go on the baseline, but he just couldn't pull up.
So it goes against Dent. And speaking of replay, we do have use of the replay monitor. Peter Pavia, the instant replay official, he's the alternate. They are checking, and if it does come up with a timing mistake or something in the rule book that allows the officials, they will go over to him and check our replay. This is the first year in the tournament that the replay has been used. Johnson bangs one in from the top of the key. It was 12 points for Johnson.
Brent, that was a situation where Wyoming was using a little diamond in one also, that time on Andrew Kennedy. Again, another one of those worst shots in basketball. Johnson almost had a three.
Well, Dent finally fires short. Cavaliers come out. Dembo's got it back.
Dent showed some real quickness there. That could have been an easy basket.
Virginia's biggest lead of the game, 3 points, is right now 37-34.
Not guarding Denny, just can't get any passing lane.
Away from the ball, down inside low, and on Sheehy, his third personal foul.
Sheehy tries to draw that charge again as Lechner's going to come across the lane. Sheehy tries to step in front of him. You know what that was, Brent? That was a charge. That's a charge.
He was deliberately drawing it. He moved over in his way. The player is entitled.
You have as much right to that
Player's entitled to move without the ball. That was a good call. Down away from the ball. Sheehy was trying to get the whistle. He didn't even have the ball. He didn't even have the ball. How do you say that?
He's looking right in the face. He's got that right to get to that spot. Anyway, you were right because the official called it that way.
Fox is back, number 25 for Wyoming. They'll see if they can get Lechner back involved in this offense. Dembo looking for the pass, and Dent won't take the shot from the corner. Cross now to Jones. Fox, the hero of the WAC tournament. He'll take the three. And he hits it. We're tied at 37.
I was waiting for Fox to put it up. Dent's got to feel like he's a lonesome end out there. Nobody guards him. And, you know, that puts pressure on you after a while. You can see why Gary Colson fouled him now. You got to figure the odds are in your favor.
A three-pointer. The response by Derek Sims of Virginia puts the Cavaliers up.
Brent, you know, one thing Wyoming has not done in a long time, and that's to get the ball off the boards and start that fast break of theirs. See if Fox gets in some rhythm now and puts up some shots. There's Dent again. Nobody guarding him.
Dembo covered. Dent on the penetration, passing to Jones for the easy layup. Good defense by Jones. Loose ball. Cavaliers run it down. Johnson again. Not this time. Andrew Kennedy with an offensive rebound. And a tap in by Virginia.
That ball might have been on the rim.
Brandenburg protesting. Sheehy getting credit for the tap in. 42-39. Virginia over Wyoming.
Both teams slowing down now. Starting to walk instead of move quickly.
Sheehy keeping a body on Lechner, who sends it back for the three-point attempt from the corner. And Mel Kennedy with a miss, and here's Johnson for the Cavs. He's got Sheehy to the glass.
That's
offense,
four.
and that's four.
Yep, Sheehy should have been thinking on that play, Brent. He didn't have an open lane. No reason to take it in there. Great job by Dembo. Here's the pass now. He knows he doesn't have an open lane here. He cannot afford to go in.
So Sheehy must leave, and Martin will replace him. When you come back to Salt Lake, we've got 14:40 to go. Well, Billy, at the top of the broadcast, you spoke about foul trouble as being the statistic to watch here tonight.
I thought the game would be a little tougher earlier, but you can see Sheehy with four and Kennedy with three really puts the hurting on Virginia. They're going to have to go deep into their bench, bringing Martin back in here right now, and that is not what Terry Holland would like to have on the floor with just a three-point lead.
So along with Tim Martin, Derek Sims out there with the two Kennedys and Johnson.
We ought to give Martin some credit. He played a pretty good first half.
Here's Dembo. A three on the way.
He's got great range, tremendous rotation on that shot.
Tying it at 42 at the 14:20 mark here in Salt Lake. The last game of the day. Number 16 winding down out here in the first day of action in the NCAA tournament. Mel Kennedy gives the Cavaliers a 2-point lead.
He's got that leaner. That's his favorite shot. Looks like it's rather awkward, but he likes to go chest to chest. Put it in there.
Now Lechner, the big fella, rotating underneath. Martin on him. Summers back in the game for Wyoming. And Dent goes to the glass. Quick first step. He has not taken a shot from the perimeter, but he'll go on the move to the hoop for you. This is the 12th time we have been tied.
Good clear out that time on Johnson. He didn't realize he had no help behind there because you assume Lechner's in the way.
Now Martin comes out, sends it back to Sims from the corner. He hits a 2.
Sims doing a good job coming in off the bench. We talked about these teams not going to the bench, but they've gone to it and had excellent play. Sims and Martin doing a good job for Virginia.
Dent, Fox, Dembo, Summers, and Lechner. Wyoming starting 5. Dembo's 2 short. Loose. Andrew Kennedy. Here come the Cavaliers. Johnson has to give it up. Sims runs it down for him.
Surprised Johnson tried to force that break.
Good interior defense against Andrew Kennedy by the Cowboys. He's got a great shot down in low. Offensive foul. And that on Mel Kennedy is number 4.
Good job by Fox. Just held his ground. That rule of verticality came through. Kennedy tried to use that big chest of his, and it didn't work out. Now Terry Holland really has a problem. He's got 4 fouls on 2 key people.
Kennedy and Sheehy both playing with the 4. He'll go back to his bench. He'll send in Mark Cook to replace Mel Kennedy. We're at the 12:40 mark, and fouls becoming critical for the ACC Cavaliers.
Wyoming is not looking into Lechner. They've got to let him touch the ball, even if he doesn't score.
On the turnaround.
Got to give the big man the ball. After a while, they're not putting the pressure on that defense.
16 points, and believe me, he's tough down in the blocks. UCLA draws the winner, and they'll have their hands full in that one on Saturday against either of these teams.
Kennedy hesitant to put the ball into Martin.
Jump pass is a beauty, and Martin couldn't put it away. But Mel Kennedy still on the floor, battling for it. A whistle underneath, he couldn't get it to fall. Mel Kennedy banging underneath, and the coach was holding his breath over there on the bench. He is waiting to replace him. Mark Cook. Mel Kennedy hits the free throw to give the Cavaliers a 1-point lead here at the 12:07 mark. 7 points for Mel this evening.
These kids working hard. Look at that sweat coming down. Now they can get him out of the ball game. That was a good break for Terry Holland.
Mark Cook, the freshman out of Martinsville, Virginia, 6'4", will replace Mel.
That's a hotbed of basketball down in Virginia. They were the state champs, but he's got his hands full now. Garden Jones, and it's Kennedy on Dembo. They're going to be looking back to Lechner now.
And they get a great pass to Boyd, who had worked in the back door. Takes the lob pass and hits it. 4 points for Boyd here tonight. So injured shoulder and all, he went flying for that one.
Second time they used that play. The first time it was to Jones. Uh-oh. We've got a man hurt out there right now. Dent is really limping on that leg. He is really hurting.
Wyoming point guard number 10 limping on defense. They can't stop it. Now they can.
He's got to come out right now, though. He's really hurting.
Sean Dent with an ankle injury. The whistle is finally blown for the injured player. He will leave, and Fox will return. They'll work Fox and Boyd in a Cowboy backcourt with Dent sitting down, and it does not appear to be serious. We hope it is not.
You know, considering the way Virginia's defending them, it might not hurt Wyoming at all to have Dent down for a while. Puts a lot more pressure on the Virginia defense.
A 3.
That's
Martin
3.
going in the air, and Lechner reaches in his 3rd foul. And Dent being tended to on the Cowboy bench.
We see Dent coming out defensively. Don't know where he twists this ankle.
He slips coming over on defense and twisting the ankle as he moved in on Sims. Score is tied at 48. Dent being tended to. We're at the 11-minute mark. player with an injured ankle. 2 players with 4 fouls on the Cavaliers. Ball knocked high into the arms of Dembo. But it had gone up over the top, didn't it, of the basket support? Didn't it go in between the wires? I thought it did. Is there any doubt about it? But who hit it last? Now, that's the question. The Cowboys might have hit this ball last.
Right. Here's what the rule is on that, Brent. The ball was blocked by a Wyoming player. It went over the top of the backboard on the other side. Therefore, it's out. Comes back to Virginia. Good call by the official.
Johnson drills one. Spins out. Lechner. Outlet pass. 2-on-1. Boyd's on the other side. Fox goes for the jam.
And a no call.
A no call at the other end.
When you take Fox and Boyd and put them in the backcourt, you have 2 great athletes. And he just ran over Johnson, which was a good no call by the official. These Wyoming fans are really into it, aren't they? It seems like they're getting support from all the Utah people also.
This is WAC territory. Spinner by Johnson inside. Taken down by Lechner.
There's a call here.
Could not hear the whistle being blown.
I don't know what to call. They must have called walking.
Holland is very upset at the officiating here tonight in Salt Lake. Inside of 10 minutes, Wyoming with a 2-point lead and possession.
And I really think this lineup makes it tougher for Virginia to play than with Dent in the game, because Lechner now is open, because you must play both Fox on the outside along with Boyd. One more basket. Terry Holland's going to have to think timeout and seriously come back with his key players. They can't get Andrew Kennedy to the ball inside.
2 key men watching with 4 fouls apiece. Sims takes a 3 and brings it down. Big 3-pointer by Sims. 52-51 with Dent having received tape on that injured right ankle. Lacing up his sneaker, and he'll be back. Andrew Kennedy sticking with Dembo.
Nice defense. Dembo wanted to go to the hole on that one.
Boyd cuts around a screen, and Martin with a good switch. Now it's Jones' turn. Hit by Martin, and he fouled Lechner. That is the 4th team foul on Virginia. Already 4 on Wyoming. Neither team in the bonus here at the 8:56 mark. So we've got a breakage in play here. The 8:56 mark. Sheehy is coming back, and Martin will sit down. Now there will be a commercial timeout. We'll take a television timeout here, and we will be right back to Salt Lake. A good one coming your way from Salt Lake, and another break that doesn't get any tougher than this one, Billy.
Well, Lechner gets it out, and you can see because of the balance, very difficult. And here comes Fox. He goes right over the top of Johnson. Excellent no call by the official there on that particular play. Johnson trying to draw the charge after the play.
In the second half, Wyoming 10 of 4. 10 of 14 for 71%, and Virginia 8 of 13 for 62%. Virginia has out-rebounded Wyoming 6-2.
Now, Dent back in the game. Brent, I'm surprised he came back in, because that backcourt was really doing a nice job. Fox and Boyd. I think it's easier to play Wyoming when Dent's in the game. Really makes it tougher for them to get the ball to Lechner.
Dembo waits for Boyd and then elects to go back to the point. He is going to send Fox back in the game, too, Billy. He just sent him back to check in.
He's listening to us.
A 3, and Dembo misfires. Lechner can't get a handle on it. Goes out of bounds, and it'll go over.
Let's see who comes out. He's taking Boyd out of the game.
Jim will work with Dent.
Jim has been coach of the year at 2 different schools, and I guess he knows what he's doing.
Montana and Wyoming.
That's right. He was Judd Heathcote's assistant at Montana before he took over that job. And you know, Wyoming had 7 out of 8 years prior to him getting here were losing seasons.
Mel Kennedy with the miss. Wyoming rebounding, leading it by a point. Inside 8 minutes to go here. Dembo is only 6 of 16 from the field in this game. So the Cavaliers have done a good job against him defensively so far.
Virginia goes to the 2-3 zone. Boy, he has a soft touch. soft touch inside.
20 points for the big fella.
They start talking about the key big men in the West for next year with Welp leaving.
Dead on the steal.
With Welp leaving Washington, you'd have to say Lechner's probably going to be the top big man in the West Coast and one of the best big men in the country.
Billy, it looks to me that Brandenburg wants him on the floor there for leadership. He has 8 assists. He was very smart. He didn't have a break opportunity. Even though he won't shoot the perimeter shot, Dent has scored 8 points here tonight, mostly off quick steps and breaks to the hoop. Fox from the top of the circle with a 2. That's a 3-point Wyoming lead here at the 7-minute mark.
Makes it up to 5, Brent.
Exactly.
Yeah. You see that momentum shifting a little bit now. Virginia can't get any inside game going.
Sheehy with a nice left-handed layup.
I'm looking right at Andrew Kennedy. They blanketed him. A good job on the baseline to Sheehy.
Like I said, it's 3.
Yeah, now it's 3, right. And like I said, they can't get any inside game going.
If you wait long enough, we'll get it right.
Back to man-to-man. They tried to zone. It didn't work.
Lechner comes up on Sheehy. Foul called on the inside, and that's it. Number 5.
Well, Lechner just wants it inside. Anytime he gets it on the blocks, they can't stop him.
Sheehy fouls out at the 6:25 mark.
Now here's Sheehy holding his ground. Brent, I don't care what they say, but the rule of verticality means that's a foul on the offense because Sheehy had his ground. He owns that ground all the way to the ceiling.
I agree. Lechner was bending in on him up over the top. That could have easily have been called an offensive foul.
Matter of fact, I think if you're playing against Lechner, that's what you really want to concentrate on, is trying to draw that foul because he used that big chest of his to bang into you.
Bill Batts checks into the game for the Cavaliers. Lechner tonight is 9 of 12 from the field, 4 rebounds, 20 points. Batts pulls down the missed free throw. Stays at 3.
Wyoming moving that zone back in it, but they're still really active in it. And by not getting the ball to Kennedy, they can't get Lechner in foul trouble.
Well, the man who's got to stand up in there is Andrew Kennedy. They got to get him some shots, Billy.
Yep, he can't touch the ball. That zone is very active. There it is.
There it is, off a fake, trying to get in, knocked away, and there's a foul. Dembo goes crashing to the floor on that side.
It's probably a break that he committed that foul because it would have been Denbo's trying to catch up to him.
11:30 Eastern. It's Tulsa, Oklahoma on Friday night. That'll start the big weekend of action here because we'll have the triple header for you on Saturday afternoon at noon and then again on Sunday afternoon here on CBS.
2 interesting coaching matchups right there. Billy Tubbs, J.D. Barnett. Different philosophies as to how the game should be played. That'll be quite a head-on-head clash for a state title in addition to a NCAA movement.
Terry Holland not pleased with the officiating in this game.
Neither team is in the bonus yet, and Terry thought that should have been a 2-shot foul.
Going to Kennedy, knocked out of bounds. Billy, when you're working against a zone like that, and that's your spot, and you've got all those bodies, won't Andrew have to move it back out a little bit?
He's just trying to find an opening. There's a case where Johnson lost the handle on it, trying to go up. Brent, what he might do is move up to the foul line and try to split that the two guys out front.
Right.
But that zone's very active, and Dent is extremely quick in that zone.
Dembo was in low. Ball is loose. Kennedy did a great job inside. Johnson, man in the middle. Did not have the break and pulls it back up. Now he goes for the seam. Offense. Offensive foul.
A little lack of judgment on Johnson's part. Thought he had a hole, but it wasn't there.
16 fouls on Virginia, 5 on Wyoming. Wyoming would be shooting on the next one. We are at the 5:26 mark here to go in regulation.
Double screen set down inside. Well, when Lechner comes across the lane, he takes everybody with him, doesn't he?
Oh, he's Belcher working across there. Dent with a spinner got in too deep, and the trees took care of him.
Lechner has not been out this half. You kind of wonder with 5 minutes to go if he doesn't need just a little breather.
Here's Andrew Kennedy. Here he rises up a little deeper and misfired on the shot.
Two bad decisions by Virginia the last 2 times down the court. Johnson on the drive, Kennedy putting up a bad shot.
And Terry Holland's team down by 3.
Wyoming spreading it out a little bit here. If they're getting ready for that lob pass on that dunk again.
Jones on the wing, playing catch with Fox. Sims all over him right now.
That's going to be the 1-and-1 is going to start now. Now, Brett, think about strategy as we get moving here. Dent, the bad free throw shooter. I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Virginia start to institute some fouls on him if we start seeing a pull away.
Now Morgan returns for Virginia. And Sims will shoot down. Sit down. Morgan has scored only 1 field goal here tonight. That was 2 points back in the first half. And he is their number 2 guard, supposed to be their shooter.
Right, their number 2 scorer on the year. Reggie Fox, of course, won those 2 tournament games in the WAC.
And this team had to win that tournament to get into the NCAA. They swept 3 games, including beating New Mexico down in the pit in Albuquerque. Never an easy assignment.
That's right, and last year they missed by not getting in the tournament. Went to the finals of the NIT.
Virginia not a team who shoots the threes. They average only 5 threes a game, and they may need it here as we go down the stretch in this one. Here's Andrew Kennedy, short, taps up, again short, and Wyoming coming away with it. And Terry Holland believes that the foul should have been called, and I don't think Brandenburg is very happy about what was going on either.
I didn't think there was any foul there. Lechner and everybody held their ground. Kennedy just couldn't get it to go in the hoop.
3:58 to go. Timeout here. We'll be right back in Salt Lake along with Billy Packer. I'm Brett Musburger. 3:58 to go in this West Regional contest. 57-53 Wyoming, and Terry Holland has been coaching this week with a very heavy heart, and certainly while we have a moment, Billy and I and the rest of the CBS crew want to send along our condolences to his family. His stepmother, Mary Holland, passed away early Wednesday morning, and Terry was with the team at the time, and certainly condolences to his father and the rest of the Holland family back in Virginia. Here Holland's basketball team trails it 57-53 and 3:50 to go.
Wyoming sitting back in his zone, matching up out front with Dent. And again, Brent, here's where that 3-point play really hurts that Virginia doesn't have in its arsenal.
3 points today. They have taken only 2, and they've hit both of them. Kennedy.
Yep, good job by Lechner on defense. Kennedy had to rush the shot. It wasn't a block, but he altered it.
Wyoming has tried 9 threes here tonight and been good on 3 of them, 33%. Jump into Lechner. He couldn't get the handle. He had an easy layup. Virginia gets a break. Let's see if they can take advantage of it.
You know what Lechner did? He looked at...
Johnson gets it off now. Down the baseline. Beautiful play by Kennedy.
Lechner's exhausted, Brent. He's walking up the court right now. That may have caused him to lose the handle last time. He looked up at the rim and lost sight of the ball. And
Brandenburg may have gone too deep to give him a rest now. We're inside of 3 minutes. It could be hang-on time for the big fella. 57-55. Fox at the top.
This is where you look for Dembo to pick up an offensive maneuver right here.
Kennedy staying with Dembo. Jones out on top. They are inside of 10 on that shot clock. They're down to 5 seconds on the shot clock. Short. Lechner battling for that one, still loose, and Dembo has it come right into his arms. And smiles, folks. Smiles.
He looks over here. They say he's a hot dog, but I'll tell you what, I haven't seen that in his play at all. I think he's changed a lot. Showed a lot of class there. That's twice the man standing. Dent caught that one when he hurt his ankle.
There's Lechner. Not too tired to hit that layup, and that's a big one. 59-55. 2 minutes. Lechner trying to carry Wyoming into the next round, which would be UCLA on Saturday.
It's a gut check time here for all these fellas. They all have to be a little tired. Virginia using a lot of clock here.
They're down by 4.
Using too much clock.
Inside of 20. Can't get a shooter to appear. Morgan stands up and cuts it in half.
Timeout, Virginia. They're going to try to stop this clock, and they get it.
Holland brings the Cavaliers over. Morgan has reduced the Cowboys' lead to 2. We'll be right back to Salt Lake. 59-57 Wyoming. Team fouls. Wyoming with a foul to give. In foul trouble, Sheehy is out of the game for Virginia. Mel Kennedy playing with 4. 3 players with 3. Timeouts remaining. Brandenburg in good shape for the Cowboys. Holland is down to 1. And in case of a tied-up ball, it'll be Wyoming with the possession arrow at the 1:24 mark left here in regulation.
Brent, I think Dent's going to find out whether he can make a clutch free throw again tonight.
Boyd is double teamed on the trap. They tap it to Johnson. Virginia can tie it on a spinner. He's fouled. Boyd comes in on him. Now, the trap defense worked beautifully for Coach Holland after the timeout.
Are they going to call it a 2? Because if they don't, Virginia is not yet in the 1-and-1. It would have been smart to foul Johnson before he got in close.
Johnson over checking.
They're going to say that he was not in the act of shooting, and Terry Holland's.
Now Holland is upset, but they had one to give.
That's smart.
They had that foul to give. We showed you that coming out of the timeout. Knocked away by Fox. He's claiming it. Mel Kennedy. He claims it hit Mel Kennedy. And Holland can't believe it now. He's had another close one go against him.
Well, remember in the North Carolina game, he couldn't get the ball in bounds, and that cost him there. They fouled Dent. There it is.
Johnson fouling Dent and has a few words for Morgan on that inbounds pass. Foul up back there. What a key play that was.
You see Jim Brandenburg giving him the fist, saying, let's go, show you can do it. Now, in this year, he missed the front end of a 1-on-1 against BYU with 15 seconds. He missed the front end of a 1-on-1 with New Mexico that cost him a ball game with 10 seconds. But then he hit both shots against New Mexico when they really needed him in the WAC championship.
So in Wyoming, they don't remember the 58% at the line. They remember what he did against New Mexico. Now it's the 1-and-1. For Sean Dent in Wyoming, it doesn't get any better than this. For Terry Holland, it can't get any worse. Mel Kennedy fires a 3 and bangs it in for Virginia. It's a 1-point Wyoming lead at the 1-minute mark.
And Dent's running away from the ball, which is smart.
Dembo wants to step up to the line. Fox has got it. He's another good shooter, but the clock is down.
You notice Dent is running away from the ball. He doesn't want to get fouled again. He may have to commit a 2-shotter. And Brett, they'll have to give up the ball. The 45-second shot clock's at 18, and there's 32 seconds on the big clock.
Virginia not making a foolish foul against somebody like Dembo. With 3 timeouts, Brandenburg will use one. On the shot clock, there are 12 seconds. Brandenburg and Wyoming will have 12 seconds to work with when you come back. 12 seconds left on the shot clock for Wyoming after this timeout. Virginia to get the ball back. They have 1 timeout remaining, and the Cowboys still have 2.
Both teams in the 1-and-1. Think they try to foul Dent again if he touches that ball, Brent? I'd play the percentages, and I'd go foul him.
Andrew Kennedy trying to get in on Dembo, and this time he reaches in. And a 1-and-1 is the call.
They didn't want to foul that man.
They went for the ball, so it's a 1-and-1. Most of the officials, especially the good ones, will tell you, if you go after that basketball, they will not make it a deliberate foul call. But if you reach in and just grab an arm or a body, then they'll send you up there for a pair. You talk about cardiac kids. You remember that run by Jim Valvano? Look at what the Cowboys have got going. Last 6 games have been decided with 30 seconds or less on the clock. Here we have 25. They're up by a point. Here's Dembo with 15 points, 9 rebounds. He's hit his only free throw.
He looks cool. Any guy that can catch a ball in this kind of situation and look over at us and laugh, he's got to be pretty cool.
Cool Hand Luke out of Texas. They recruited him during a snowstorm and thought they'd lost him, and he said, I love the snow. Lechner pulls down the missed free throw. They can run it out now. The Cavaliers will have to commit another foul here. It's a 62-60 game. Loose ball, they get it on the turnover. Wyoming gets it back, and there is a foul. The Cavaliers had the golden opportunity. The ball was in their hands, and they booted it.
Foul. Virginia. Number 34.
If you see the play, Denbo going to pick up his dribble. Gives it over to Fox. He gets it hit from behind. Batts has it, and then almost by accident he comes down on Fox's back. And there's the foul.
Wyoming uses one of its 2 timeouts. Terry Holland bringing the Cavaliers over. Just 10 seconds left. Wyoming coming to the free throw line and up by 2, 62-60.
Well, you know, Brent, the West has been the place to be. We've had the national champion come out of here in '83 when NC State made that run. Then we had in '84, Georgetown made the run. And, of course, last year Louisville came out of the West to make the run.
This is the West region, and what happened earlier today, UNLV blowing past Idaho State, Kansas State in overtime over Georgia, UCLA in a rout of Central Michigan, and UCLA will play the winner of this game. Billy, we have a quick moment. Were you impressed with UNLV today?
Well, they did exactly what you're supposed to do, Brent. The number 1 seed going against number 16. They came in here, they were all business, tough, hard-nosed defense. They put the press on right away, and they are extremely outstanding basketball team. You know, there have been 6 teams with 1 loss that have come into the NCAA tournament since 1977, and 5 of those 6 have lost in the opening round. UNLV, not one of them.
Such great sights and sounds at an NCAA basketball tournament. Really what it's all about.
You know, Brent, when you think about this, too, do you remember Ralph Sampson's last game? That was also played out in the West. A 1-pointer. Oh, that's nice for him.
Jones now shooting to put Holland down by 4 with 10 seconds to go. Wyoming upsets Virginia. UCLA is next for the Cowboys. They keep coming back. Wyoming trailed at the half in 2 of the 3 WAC tournament games. They were down to Terry Holland and the Cavaliers here tonight in Salt Lake, and they came back to win it 64-60.